Hello everyone, happy Monday. I am going live today because I was supposed to go live Friday and then life happened and so here we are. So I'm going to give you all a moment to join. I'm also still in gym clothes. I have not changed out of my clothes from the gym. So you guys are getting me in my full glory. But I'm doing this live. It's going to be a super short live today just because a couple reasons. I'm getting a lot of questions in the DMs about my different offerings and where to start depending on where you are in your journey. So all this live is going to be dedicated to today is where to start with me and where to know when to come in, because I have different offerings and I want to talk to you about the client journey and what it looks like depending on how much nervous system work, how much somatic work you've done, what it looks like to navigate that journey, because my offers are strategically laid out for your evolution, depending on how much nervous system work and how much somatic work you have actually had access to in your past. Okay, so if you're joining, say hi. As you know, if you're here, your family, and I love you. And I haven't been live in a little while, mainly because things have been so crazy in such a great way over here. We have many new women in the collective. I have been preparing for the shift, which is starting tonight. It's a 2-day somatic immersion. I'm getting ready for my retreat in a couple of weeks, really 2 months. So like 8 weeks from now, which we are full. The retreat is full. I do have 2 little bonus spots that I'm opening because the island is opening some rooms for us because we filled out, we maxed out. So if you are interested still in the retreat, just know that we have 2 bonus spots that are open, but the retreat is full. And I'll talk about, if you want to come to the retreat, what the indicator is as to whether or not that is a good fit for you as well. We'll talk about that in this live too. So if you're joining, say hi. I'm so glad you're here. Let's talk about the journey, depending on where you are in your nervous system work. So many people come to me and they're like, where do I start? I want to work with you. I want to get a taste of what it's like to really come into your world. Where do I start? And I always tell people the best place to start is with my Manifest Your Dream Relationship Masterclass. It is a 3-day training and it is recorded. I do it live sometimes, but it is pre-recorded. And regardless of where you are in your relationship journey, this is a beautiful place to start because I talk about how do you manifest from the nervous system? How do you get yourself to a space of safety so that you can start to call in the deep things that you desire? So this is always a great place to start. If you are single and you are looking for how can I start to dive into this work and how can I actually make sense of it, start with Manifest Your Dream Relationship. It's $11. It is packed with information. It comes with a workbook that you can start working through what I teach in those 3 days in a really tangible way. So start with Manifest Your Dream Relationship. If you are not single and you're in partnership and you're wanting to deepen your intimacy and you really want to know more about the nervous system, then come into my home membership. Start there instead of watching Manifest Your Dream Relationship. Because in my home membership, I do 1 somatic session every month. It's 90 minutes long. You also get access to my Master Your Nervous System mini course. You get access to a lot of courses that I've placed in there. I do a mini training every Friday. There's a beautiful community. It's a great place to start to dip your toe into doing nervous system work. Okay, so if you're brand new to my world, either start with Manifest Your Dream Relationship and really understand the mechanics behind how your nervous system drives what you attract in the dating world, or come into home and experience home for a month. Again, my monthly membership, you can cancel whenever. There's no penalization for canceling. The home membership is $297 a month, so it is a little bit of a higher investment, but you will get to really taste what it is like to do deep nervous system work, okay? If you want to watch the Manifest Your Dream Relationship training, just drop Manifest underneath this video. I'll send it to your DMs. If you want to join home, just drop home underneath this video and I'll send it right to you. So that's the best place to start, okay? Start with Manifest Your Dream Relationship or start with coming into home and start to understand the principles behind how your nervous system drives what you attract in your life. I break it down in a way that's so simple, and I promise once you start to do the work, you're gonna want more of it. All right, so that's where I suggest beginning. Now, let's talk about what's the next step after you have completed Manifest Your Dream Relationship and then you've dove into home, okay? And here's why I'm doing this. Many of you have asked, should I come to the shift? And the truth is, this is the truth. If you have not done any nervous system work, if you do not truly understand what it means to have access to safety, while also having a flexible relationship to activation, healthy activation, and you haven't actually played in those two realms, the shift may feel like it's too big for you, all right? The collective, my collective program, which is my signature program, it's the program that everyone goes through prior to coming into the shift or any of my higher programs, is the program that teaches you the language of your nervous system, okay? And the collective is a 3-month container. Inside of the collective, we go through 3 phases. In phase 1, we look at your past relationship patterns, your core stories of limitation, which are big T and little t trauma moments, your childhood dynamics, and your generational dynamics to get to the root of your dysregulated nervous system responses. So by the end of month 1, inside of the collective, you have a really clear picture on where your body chooses patterns of protection inside of partnership, inside of dating, inside of relationships, inside of your ability to attract money, over connection and safety. Okay, that's month 1. Then in month 2, we dive deep into somatic therapy and somatic experiencing to renegotiate these patterns of protection in your nervous system so that you can have a healthy relationship to safety, and you can also have a healthy relationship to healthy activation, so that you can start to attract things differently in your life. And then in the 3rd month, we talk about, okay, now that we know what safety feels like, we have a beautiful relationship to it, we also have a beautiful relationship to activation in our system. How do we use that to actually call in the relationships and the wealth and the health that we desire? How do we use our nervous system to guide the attraction phase? Right, you'll go through what I call the master key. You'll look at aligned energetics. We combine science and woo-woo, all right? There's a lot of understanding how quantum physics is related to the nervous system and your ability to create a life and create relationships that you deeply desire, all right? So that's what we do inside of the collective container. It is deeply curated. It is a very special group. You get access to a community. You get access to 2 somatic therapy calls with me every week, one on Wednesday, one on Friday. You also get access to my aligned attraction framework, and you get access to Home, my monthly membership. So if you come into the collective container, again, it's 3 months. Most women continue month to month after that because it is so profound. So if you're interested in coming into the collective, it is open enrollment right now. You can drop ALC underneath this video and I will send you the link and you can ask questions in the DMs, okay? So that's the next step. That's step 2. Once you've gone through Manifest Your Dream Relationship or you've made your way into Home, then 2nd step, come into the collective, do the deep nervous system work. Really understand the language of your nervous system, because it is going to guide everything else that you do in your life, all right? Now, you can bypass Home, you can bypass Manifest Your Dream Relationship if you're ready. If you know you're ready, if you're like, I really want to do somatic renegotiation, I've heard so much about it. It is different than somatic modalities, it is different than breath work, it is different than tapping, it is different than any other somatic modality out there that you've probably heard of. Somatic experiencing is me tracking your nervous system and renegotiating your survival responses in real time as a trained practitioner. So if you're ready to do that work, come into the collective. Now, here's the big question. What do I do once I've done the nervous system work? Okay, and you could be in 2 camps. You could have gone through my collective program, or maybe you've been working with a somatic practitioner for a long time, a year, 2 years. You really truly do know the language of your nervous system, and you're like, okay, now I'm ready to expand into bigger realities for myself. I want deeper levels of abundance. I want higher levels of wealth. I want deeper intimacy with my partner. I want to go to the next level with my partner. I want to step into my next big expansion in my career. Maybe I want to write a book. Maybe I want to speak to thousands. Maybe I want to end human trafficking, right? Whatever these big dreams are, this is step 3, when you come into the shift, all right? Because what I talk about in the shift is, okay, you have a pretty deep handle on your nervous system and how your nervous system functions. How do we use your relationship to healthy activation to expand your ability to attract and to expand your ability to create a life that is magnetic and deeply expansive, which is different than just learning how to get to a baseline of enjoying life. Okay? Expansion is different than feeling like you're coming out of survival and you can just live and just be in presence, all right? So the collective teaches you how to be in presence, how to really, truly be in the space of loving life, regardless of what it throws at you, and having deep presence with not just yourself, but the people that you love, all right? The shift teaches you, okay, now that we have that presence, how can we start to expand into realities that feel unattainable, that feel scary, that feel too big? How can we use our relationship to healthy activation to expand into these really big dreams for ourselves, right? I often give the example, many of you know my story, but last year I was in a totally different relationship, living in a different state, okay? Now I'm living a totally different life, and it is because of what I preach inside of the shift. It is being so deeply committed to the divine feminine inside of you that you know that when there is a whisper in your intuition, you have the ability to stay with healthy activation and follow that whisper so that you can really expand into huge dreams and huge expansive realities for yourself. So that's what we're going to talk about in the shift, okay? Which is different than what I go over inside of the collective. It's like, We've mastered, and I don't really believe in mastering the nervous system, but we have mastered the ability to understand the language of our nervous system. We get it. We start to have a really beautiful embodied relationship with ourselves. How do we then use that to expand into the dreams that we feel are kind of crazy, right? Like if you look at my life, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, but it's really beautiful. And it's because I know that my connection to my dreams and my desires is always soul-led. I have a really beautiful relationship to my intuition, and I also have a beautiful relationship to healthy activation. That's what we're going to be talking about in the shift tonight. It is, how do you embody the true divine feminine? Because it's not something you arrive at. This is something that drives me nuts about the personal development world. You don't arrive at your divine feminine. You were innately born in your divinity. And because of life and the way that life shakes out and the people that you come in contact with and the things that you've experienced, it takes you further and further away from that divinity. So it's remembering that it's already there. It's already inside of you. It's not something that you arrive at, but it is being able to work with the healthy activation to come back into that sense of your divinity. Because when women are fully in their power and they're fully in their divine nature, what's possible is insane. It's incredible what you can create. And so that's what we're going to be talking about in the shift. But if you don't have access to understanding your nervous system, what I'm going to be talking about in the shift, it's not going to land. It's going to feel like it's too far-fetched, and it's going to feel like, I don't understand it. I don't understand what safety feels like. I don't understand what healthy activation feels like. That is when you come into the shift, is after you've done that work, okay? So the shift starts tonight. Tonight is night 1. Tomorrow is night 2. It's only 2 days. It's a 2-day somatic immersion event. And that's exactly what we're going to be diving into. Now, there is a step past the shift that I'm going to be talking about in the shift. I'm going to be talking about it on day 2. But I'm going to leave you guys hanging on that one. Okay, I'll be back to talk about it because I'm announcing it to the people that come to the shift first. All right. So that is the progression of how you can come into my world and start to dive into this work and get the results that, if you follow me on my stories, you've seen with a lot of the women that I support and lead. right, through this work. They have deeper relationships. They finally find love for the first time in their 30s or 40s or 50s, right? They heal their relationship to their body. They start to step into deeper levels of wealth, deeper levels of purpose. It is all because when you learn the language of your nervous system, the sky is the limit. And I promise you that that will happen for you too. So that is the journey. If you do want to come to the shift tonight, you can drop shift, SHIFT, underneath this video, and I will send you the link to sign up. But that is the journey right now. For everyone that has been asking me in my DMs, I'm going to be sending this video to all of you. Okay. That's where I would start. Start with Manifest Your Dream Relationship. Okay. And or home. Start with one of those two because you get access to my Master Your Nervous System mini course if you come into home. Then make your way into the collective. Then make your way into shift. Right. And then come to shift and you'll hear about, okay, what's next past the shift. So I love you guys. Happy Monday. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions at all, drop them below. I am here to answer them or send me a DM. You all know that I'm in my DMs. It's really me, really me. Sometimes you'll get Kate if I pass it off to her, but I always let you know that you're getting passed off to Kate. The last thing. If you're wanting to do the deep nervous system work in the collective in an accelerated rate, that is when you would come to the Align Retreat. Okay. And as I said at the beginning of this video, all of our spots are taken. It is completely full, but I do have 2 bonus spots. So if it's on your heart, I'm not going to be promoting it anymore, but if it is on your heart to come and be there and do the work that we do inside of the collective in a really accelerated rate, most of the women that are coming to the retreat, they've done nervous system work before. They're ready for expansion and coming into the shift and really being with healthy activation. But we are going to be looking a little bit deeper at some of the dysregulated nervous system patterns and the stuff that I talked about in the collective. So if you want to do any of this work in an accelerated way, that's when you would come to the retreat in May 20th through the 24th. You can drop the word align underneath this video and it will send you the link to apply. There is an application process, okay? And we are full. There's 2 bonus spots left. If it's on your heart and you're really feeling the nudge, then come do this work in person and DM me align or drop it below. So I think that's everything. So now you know the journey of where to come in, depending on where you are in this work. I love all of you and I cannot wait to see so many of you in the shift tonight. We have almost 40 of you guys signed up, which is really beautiful. So see you guys soon and happy Monday.